when you have a stencil on there and you see a design, it's, usually you get what you see, and you would think that, well, you saw what you were getting, you knew what you were getting, but a lot of times in the excitement of the moment, people show up and they look at it and it's, yeah, that's cool, that's nice, and then you go home and you think about it more and it's like, well, that's not really, is that really like everything I wanted now that it's there forever? My name is Daniel Albright, and this is my advice. Become a tattoo artist. I did an apprenticeship. That took 3 years. So I studied under a established tattoo artist at a reputable tattoo shop. And I did probably about 100 tattoos before I ever made any money, and that's part of learning how to learn the craft and do it. And even before I started those tattoos, which the people understood, you're getting tattooed by an apprentice. This might be a little less than perfect, but I'm not paying a couple $100s for it, so that's a trade-off I'm willing to make, But before I even got to that point, there's a lot of drawing, a lot of watching, a lot of cleaning up after other people, a lot of learning how to set up, the sanitation aspect of everything. All of that comes before you ever touch a tattoo machine. But then once you get to that, then you do a lot of tattoos for free until it's like, oh, these things are, you can't criticize them too much, so then you can start charging money. So for me personally, whenever I get a tattoo, my process is I don't just think I want a tattoo and then go to Google or go to a book and find a tattoo. I'm like, this is a tattoo I like enough to put on me and I want it. I don't necessarily go about it like that usually. It's not, I think it's just, oh, I want this thing. It's more, I'll see an image, or there'll be an event that'll happen, or there'll be something that is meaningful towards me image-wise, and then that leads to the path of, oh, that could make for an interesting tattoo, and then I think of how would I visually represent that. The first thing you want to do is research your artist. You want to make sure your artist is clean, make sure that they are artistically talented, and then make sure that they're in a style, they work in a style that's the same style as the piece that you want. To initiate the process of getting a tattoo, usually you'd want to reach out to your artist and schedule an appointment. Walk-in tattoos are very much a thing, and a lot of places do walk-ins. If you were just come to me and say, I want a piece to represent this feeling or this emotion or this moment or all these images combined together, that's not really a walk-in tattoo kind of situation. That's something you would want to schedule and plan in advance and go back and forth with your artist beforehand. One thing that's important, if you're getting a big tattoo, a big piece, give yourself the day. Don't schedule your tattoo for 1 o'clock and have to get your kids off the bus at 3 o'clock. That's gonna add stress to everyone's life. You don't want your artist to feel rushed. You want to take a good long look at your stencil. Do not feel bad telling your artist that you want the stencil moved a little bit if you want the stencil moved a little bit, because it's there forever. And if you look down and you're like, man, I wish that was just a quarter inch to the left every time you look at it, it's just one uncomfortable moment away, just to say that. A lot of the regret, from my experience of talking to people, has come from a lack of communication between the artist and the client beforehand. So it's not necessarily always that it's a terribly executed tattoo, it's just not what they had in mind or not what they wanted. Consider how you are normally going to be seen when you're wearing the tattoo. Like, let's say it's a tattoo on your upper arm and you wear a lot of shirts where the sleeve stops here, or half sleeve shirts or something. I would recommend bringing that piece of clothing with you, or having one like it. Like, even though while you're getting tattooed, your sleeve's going to be up and out of the way, when it's just the stencil and before the tattoo process starts, put your sleeve down. See how it's going to look with half of it covered up. Any writing that you get, it should be big enough that it can grow and expand over time. A lot of people don't realize in the healing process of tattoos, lines thicken up. They usually get about twice as thick as when you initially do them over time. So if you do this super tight, little scripty cursive, sure, I can do it and it'll look great for maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe even 5, but give it 10 years and you're not going to be able to tell what it says. Don't see something on the internet and think it's going to look that small and that readable and that cute 25 years down the road, because it's not. And a lot of people now get tattooed so young. They get these small little tattoos and it's like 20 years sounds like a long time, but by the time you're 40, you're getting your tattoo covered or redone. When it comes to names, I would say kids, pets, and loved ones that have passed, those are all pretty safe. Anyone else, give it a few years if you're thinking about it, and then after those few years, maybe give it a few more years. I would say if you're thinking about getting a portrait or an image of somebody, first of all, find a very good portrait artist, because those are very challenging tattoos to do. But then more so than that even, remember that celebrities, singers, actors, the people you look up to are still humans and are still people with skeletons in their closet, and they might disappoint you at some point. So you could love your Bill Cosby tattoo in 2000 and not love it as much in 2022. When it comes to placement, a lot of people ask, does this spot hurt more than that spot, or so on and so forth. And what I always tell people is get the tattoo where you really want it. It's a relatively short period of time of your life for something that's going to be there forever. So if you've dreamed of having this tattoo on your wrist or on your ribs or on your ankle or somewhere forever, and then you hear from your friend, oh, that's a really tough spot, and then you think at the last minute, oh, I'm going to move it to the middle of my back or something because it's going to be easier. Don't do that. It's going to hurt either way. Put it the spot where you really want it. Tough it out. You'll be fine. As far as knowing where you really want it, I would say think of the flow of the design with your body. Think of the shape of spots. Forearms are more rectangular, longer and thinner. And if you want a perfectly symmetrical tattoo, you're going to want to put that somewhere flatter. And if it's something a curvy design, you might want to put it somewhere on the body that curves and flows with the natural shape of a body. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself, why is getting this tattoo important to me? What am I seeking to get out of this experience? Am I doing it for the artwork and for the image, and because this image is important to me and I want to look at this image and I want to wear this image for the rest of my life? Don't get a tattoo for attention. Don't get a tattoo because a partner's pressuring you into it. At the end of the day, it's your body, it's your art. Don't get a tattoo for anyone but yourself.
If we knew then all that we know now, I think the world would be better somehow. And if way back when someone showed us the